These are just a few of the pens that I use on a daily basis. Mostly I write with fountain pens because I think they just look lovely and give the most pleasant feedback with what I like to call live ink. I know, it doesn't make any sense. Every single pen uses flowing ink in some capacity, but let's just go with it. Writing with ink that flows from the nib of a fountain pen, smooth and shiny and heavy on the page, well, there is no better tactile writing experience, in my opinion. So why, oh why, would I constantly find myself writing with this extremely inexpensive, lightweight, and plastic rollerball pen? Because I find it equally as fun and as soothing to write with. If you want a fountain pen-like ink experience, but without the potential messiness, the cleaning involved, and at times the finickiness of a fountain pen, rollerball is usually where you will land. It writes very similarly to a lot of my fountain pens, that flowing stream of ink. It's marvelous. And I had wanted one for a long time because of that fact that they were a similar writing experience to fountain pens. And I've looked at mid-tier models and the high-end stuff. At the end of the day, I kind of couldn't justify the price of those examples when I was really just paying for this cartridge experience. This is what I'm writing with. I might as well just, I don't know, it's a weird thought to me because this doesn't feel good, and if this was the pen, I probably wouldn't write with it. The house also matters. So I'm not sure what my point is, but I think I really like this pen, and I will certainly attempt to go back to a Dollar Tree and get another one for $1.25 in the future when this one runs out. Moving on. Some of rollerball pens look very professional, very cool, very fun to handle and write with. But alas, I still can't break the hold that the mighty fountain pen has on me. And I dare say, if I were to only choose one writing implement for the rest of my time, it would be a fountain pen. I digress. I've got two Kaweco Sports, a fine point in olive green and a medium point in black. This was a gift. The fine point writes scratchy and precise. The medium point writes a little gray, but smooth. I've used this, what I thought was a Pilot, but actually just kind of looks like a Pilot. It's a Staples branded OptiFlow. I've had this for years, and it also works really great. However, I find it bleeds a lot more, even on the same paper. And of course, the fountain pen, as I've already mentioned, which I love writing with as much as my... What did I just say? I already talked about this enough. Let's move on to the coup de grace, the fountain pen that I bought specifically with the idea that I wanted it to be with me for a long time. I wanted it to have some significant value, emotionally wise, if that makes sense. Lost my train of thought. I wanted it to look special, and I wanted it to be specifically what I used to handwrite my novel in its entirety. And that led me to the Waldman Imagination Tango in sapphire with gold nib. Now, there is no evidence to support that gold nib functions better or writes better than a steel nib, and it's merely one of a monetary status symbol. But alas, I could not help my wretched self, and I wanted to go the full gusto of what this pen had to offer, so that's why I got the gold nib. In a fine point, I might add. I'm not one for exploring different sized nibs. I usually always go fine because I truly just enjoy that experience better, and I'm constantly just writing in my journal. And now that I have this medium point in the Kaweco Sport, it's not hugely different than the fine point. There is a difference, and I do like the fine point overall across the board of fountain pens. Broad nibs I've used in dip pen, and those are fun, but they're not really convenient for me to write daily with. It's more of like, let me practice a cool letter, something like that. Let's move on. This rollerball, back to this thing, is $1.25 at Dollar Tree. It's completely plastic, but I have become enamored with more tubular shaped pens because of this. I never thought I would be, and I kind of veered away from them because I thought they were just clunky looking, and this kind of changed my mind about those. I covered an entire sheet in black ink just so I could feel it. I wrote as many letters as I could on one page just so I could experience the swirls. This is my junk and doodling book. No rules, just exactly whatever I want to do with ink, even making repetitive swirls. I love making repetitive swirls. This book is where I use the rollerball, but a part of me feels bad for seemingly wasting ink on meaningless things, even if those things help with stress and decompression. I like to use the rollerball in other places too. Sometimes when I'm watching a TV show, I'll sit down and start writing the keywords or phrases that characters may say as they talk on. I'll jot down ideas or little notes and mantras in my little books. This pen feels like a true EDC pen, more so than the appropriately sized Kaweco Sport. There's something grungy about this rollerball, something cool, something that goes against the extraordinary. I think the Bic pen also fits into this category. This is the Bic Crystal Renew, which is a full metal body, but the cap is plastic. And I had to spend, I think it was $12 on a singular pen. Worth it. This pen I use mostly to practice my backwards writing. That's a fun journey. I do write creatively at times with these non-fountain pen pens. Poetry, short stories, stream of consciousness, but not my novel writing. That task, the one where I sit at my desk, set my timer, and settle in for an expanse of time, is reserved for my Waldman. I set the cap to the side. The pen is off balance if I post it. Open my book, tilt it, as I do, and enter another world, the matrix of my fiction. It doesn't make this pen any better experience-wise. It just makes it different. Like all of my pens are running adjacent to each other on these parallel lines of different preference and sensory feel and which one goes with which project. That's all I'm striving to do, is explore what this world has to offer, even in the smallest of ways. So that's all for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I will